Okay. Happy Monday. I'm actually happy. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. Hello. Let me just go over here and see how I can share this so that we can get some people on here. Hello. Okay, I'm just waiting for some people to jump on and to join me. I'm excited about what we're going to be sharing. Oh. I am trying to get over there to my other page. And it does not let me. I don't even know why this does this. Hello, who's on? Thanks for joining. I'm trying to figure this out. Oh. Okay. Woo. Inviting some people to come join on. Hello. Happy Monday. How are you? How's it going? It's Monday. It's a great Monday. Listen, oh my goodness. You know, most of us look at Mondays and we have so many mixed emotions about Mondays. But I actually enjoy Mondays. I used to not be. I used to have that whole thing about, oh my gosh, it's Monday, the week is starting, it's back to work. But I've kind of overcome that. So I get excited about Mondays now. But anyway, welcome. It's Rhonda. We are here. I'm excited. Who is on with me? Let me know that you're on, that you're listening. We're going to talk about choices and decisions today, and I'm very excited to be talking about that. Hey, Liz, how are you? I love your new profile picture, just so you know. I really do. It is just too adorable. And thank you for joining. How was your weekend? I hope that you had a great weekend. Mine's was, Saturday was busy, but Sunday, can I tell you guys, I binge watched a Netflix show called Baby Daddy. And I think I got through all of season 1, all of season 2, and probably about a third of season 3. Yesterday, I've been to watch that show. Don't know how I picked that show, but I picked that show and decided to watch it. So it was funny. So yay. So I'm excited that you are here. So thank you for joining. Make sure that you share this. Make sure you let other people know that we are on. I know I missed quite a few Facebook Live last week. Just so much things was going on and stuff, and I was thrown a little bit off a track, with some personal thing that I was, working through, but I'm good. So anyway, I'm excited. So life is about choices and decisions, and we all have to make them. We all have to make our choices and decision. Life is like a road that we're going down, right? Sometimes that road can be long. Sometimes that road can be short. Sometimes it could be bumpy. It could be smooth. Hey, Latara, thank you for joining. It could be rocket. It could be rocky. It could be rocky. It could be crooked. It could be straight. It could be curvature. It's just an amazing path, you know. But life brings us on many different challenges, and that's kind of how, you know, our choices and stuff play in that. It's a journey. It's a journey. But understanding that in everything that we're doing, even when we're on this journey and we're making our choices and our decisions, here's the key thing. We have options. We always have options. We think we don't, but we do. And guys, it's a blessing to have options, because sometimes there are some people in some countries that don't have options. They don't get to make their choices and decisions. There are people who are living in situations where someone else is controlling them. We get to make those choices and decisions. We get to decide what road we're going to go down and how that road is going to benefit us. And it's part of that happiness that we're looking for, that joy, right? It could be a sad road. It could be a victorious road. It could be jubilant roads. It can lead to defeat. It can lead to disappointments, right? But we have choices and decisions. And a lot of time when we making those choices and decisions, sometimes we make them, but then we want to act like it's everybody else's fault for our decisions. It's not. It's everybody else's fault that we stuck, or we this, or we that, or we're on this rocky path. And that's actually untrue. A lot of it comes from the things that you did yourself. So I want to talk about these choices and decisions. And when you come up to a corner and you got to make a turn, or you come up to a sign that says detour, or you come into a crossroad in life. How many people have been at a crossroad in their life? I have. So what's the next decision? So for instance, listen, back in 2012, I was fired from a job. I had been there about 3 years. Didn't like the job. I didn't. I took the job because I needed to move back to Oklahoma City to help with my father, who had cancer. And so I took this job. They didn't want to hire me. I'm going to tell you. HR said, oh, you're going to be gone within 3 to 6 months because we micromanage you. And with your resume, you listen. And I had to tell them that I needed a job so that I could pay my own bills. And so right now, and I wanted a job that did not require me to travel, because the job before was a lot. You know, there was a lot of long days. There was a lot of traveling. I just needed to go somewhere where I didn't have to think and use my brain. And I can just come do this task and go about my business. And this is what this job afforded me. I didn't need any thinking power. I had no responsibilities. I had nothing. I was just a peon in this job. Yeah, and it was kind of crazy with my resume. So I go in this job, hated it. Hated it. But I was appreciative because it allowed me to do what I needed to do with my father being sick, right? But it was my choice. You get this? It was my choice. So I could be mad because I pretty much begged them for the job because they weren't giving it to me. So, but I made that choice. They didn't. So even when they fired me, I wasn't mad at them. I actually busted out laughing. And I was like, well, I needed to go. So I started the job in August 31st of 2009. And my father passed away in February of 2010. And they fired me January 28th, 2012. Right? So the reason why I wanted the job had happened. But then other things in life kept happening, and I was just being lazy about going out finding a job and da-da-da-da-da-da. So I just kind of stayed there, and I was stuck. But it was my choice, right? So the perplexed road that I was on, that had all these bumps and it was crooked, and I was begging into things. It was based off of my choice and the decision I made to stay, right? It wasn't anybody else's fault. So I was kind of at this crossroads when I was terminated. Like, what do I do? I lost a job, and I was like, okay, I got real bills to pay. My youngest was in college. the University of Oklahoma does require payment. What am I going to do? And so I had some decisions and some choices to make regarding that, right? And so I did. But one of the things I understood along the way was that every good decision may not be a right decision, right? So I was about to make a decision that I thought was going to be good for me, but it was not the right decision. And so I did not make that decision or choose that. I didn't make that decision. I chose something else to do. But even in doing that, to give me some time to get a job, get some money saved up and get me, and get another place, because I moved out of my place and I had to go stay with someone. You have to look at the road that you're taking. You can't just take any road. And you don't want to just make the decision, or even when you're making those choices, of taking the road that look like it's the easiest one, because the easiest one is not always the right one, right? We don't know where the road is going to lead us. We do not know. And God is so gracious to us that he doesn't always reveal the complete plan to us, but he wants us to trust him, right? So you may not always know, but one of the most important things that you need to realize about life is that there are no guarantees. There are no guarantees. Another one of my favorite things to tell people that the word fair is not in the Bible. So stop saying stuff is not fair. And stop looking at what other people are doing and trying to compare your life to their life. That's not right. You know, you weren't intended to be like the Joneses or the Smiths. You was intended to be just who you are. Embrace your journey and look at the choices and decisions that you have made on how you have gotten there. Not someone else. Thank you, Latara, for sharing it. Not someone else, right? No one said that choosing to do right. I need you to understand this. No one said that choosing to do right is going to give you happiness. I know a lot of people who choose to do the right thing, and they're very lonely. They're very lonely. I know a lot of people who have chosen to do the right thing and are broke as heck. So you understand? There's a difference. And you have to own it, and you have to look at the full picture. Because a lot of times when we make a decision or even a choice, we're looking at what's making us feel good right now, or what we think the immediate fix is, instead of looking at the future and how this choice or decision is going to affect my future down the line. That's what we need to look at. Like, for instance, so let's just say, okay, I'm going to give you a for instance of what happened this morning. And I've actually had a good Monday. So I was up this morning. Listen, I had to go. I got on workout pants, y'all. Y'all can't see me. I got on I'm a game changer shirt and some workout pants. But I had to go and finish cleaning out my second storage so I can turn it back in so I don't have to pay that bill tomorrow. So I'm down to one storage. I had tried to sell some stuff. Some stuff sold, some stuff didn't. So it was haul off to the dumpster or whatever, some more stuff to Goodwill today, whatever I needed to do. Left the storage, was like, let me go take this to Goodwill, and then let me go and carry my honey to the office, because by now it's like after 11 o'clock. So I get in my car, and I looked. I didn't see any cars. I put my car in reverse, and all of a sudden, my car went in reverse and slowly started rolling back, and I hear boom. And I was like, did I just hit something? So I look, Lord behold, there's this blue car behind me that I done ran into her passenger door. Okay? So I want you guys to listen to this. So there were some choices and some decisions that had to be made right then and there. So I got the car. She gets out of her car, and I said, are you okay? And she was like, she just looked at me. And I was like, well, are you okay? And she just looked at me. And so then I was like, I'm sorry. I said, but I have insurance. Let me get my insurance card for you. So I go in my car, grab my purse, grab my information, right? And so this person she's just staring at me. She's not saying a word, right? So I'm getting my insurance stuff, and then she walks to her car and she rubs her hand on it because it's like going across her passenger door like this. She rubs her hand on it and she said, oh, it's just a powder of your paint. And I was like, excuse me? I said, well, I mean, granted, I did look. I did not see you, but you were behind me. Obviously, it shows I backed into your car, right? So she goes, well, did you see any damage on your car? So I haven't even looked at my car because I was worried about her car. So I looked at my car. I got some of her paint on my car and some of my paint on my silver car where the paint chipped off is black. And I said, well, there's no dent or no broken lights, but because it was just a corner of my car because I was turning when I was coming out. And so she goes, oh, no need. I was like, excuse me? She says, no need. I was like, well, what does that mean? And she says, no damage. You agree? No damage? I'm like, huh? She said, do you agree that there's no damage? I said, okay. She gets in her car. I'm like, what? Because I was backing up, y'all. Do you get that? So in my mind, I felt like I was backing up even though I looked and didn't see her. So I felt like, man, I had some responsibility there. So she gets in her car, and so she's just sitting there. But listen, here's a just shorten the decision thing. Something inside of me said, take a picture of you in this spot right now with this building, take a picture of your car, and get her tags. So I went in my car, went in my purse, got my cell phone, and she's still just standing there looking at me. I was like, are you okay? And she said, well, I'm waiting for you to leave. I said, you're waiting for me to leave? I said, well, you're kind of behind my car, honey. So she slowly pulls up away, and she turned like she's going to go out, and she just sit there forever. Well, I got out, took a picture of my car, took a picture of my car in front of the building, and I'm like, got her tag numbers, put them in my phone. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, right? I still don't know what that was about. But I made a choice. I made a decision right then and there. Not a choice, but a decision. I got on the phone immediately and called my insurance agent. I said, listen, can I report this? This is what just happened. So they have it on record because I don't know what this was about. And it may not be anything. It may have been that maybe she didn't have any insurance or she didn't have a license. I don't know what it was about. Hey, Valerie, how are you? But I do know that, let me tell you, I was thinking about the future. I wasn't, because I could have easily at that moment rejoice and go, praise God, I ain't got to turn in an insurance claim. Woo! So I ain't got to worry about no deductible. You get what I'm saying? Because God knows I don't need to put no extra money out right now. That could have been my first thought. But that was not my first thought. My thought was about what happens tomorrow or the next day or whatever, because I don't know what's going on. And she was acting weird to me. So my choice was to cover my tracks so that they know I didn't leave the scene of an accident. I was right here. I took a picture. I told my insurance everything I did. They wrote it down. They recorded it. Because for as far as I know, she could have got my tags and written them down. Right? But understanding that when we're making our choices and our decisions, we need to also be thinking about the future. Now, there is times when it's urgent and it's right about that need right then and there. Like if you're in an abusive situation, right, and it's life or death, you need to get out of the abusive situation. Don't allow nobody to be hitting on you. That's a right now decision. Let's get out. Let's go to safety. Right? So, a lot of times, so even in relation to that situation, right? It wasn't even about, like I said, for me, it was like, I wasn't even rejoicing about not having to pay that money. Because a lot of time we start rejoicing over fame, or we started rejoicing over fortune and, oh, wow, I just got this money and stuff. But how is it influencing you? And what are you going to do with it? And how is it going to change your life? And how are you using it for your future? Right? And everything is like right now, right now, right now. It's the same thing if you're accepting let's just say you was on vacation or something, and then your boss called and said, well, if you come back right now, I'm looking at you to go up the corporate ladder. But you and your family haven't had any time together for 3 years. Are you going to cut your vacation short that you already have scheduled with your family because your boss telling you he's thinking about moving you up on a corporate ladder? Choices and decision. Choices and decisions. Family time is so important. So we got to understand about our choices and our decisions and stop making bad ones and look at the outcome. Because him thinking about it is not guarantee you anything. He ain't signed no contract with no dotted line, right? But he wants you to cut your vacation short. No. You spend that time with your family. Because that time with your family is more and more important, right? So wrong decisions are always at hindsight. You understand that? Wrong decisions are always at hindsight. Because if you had known that you was making a wrong decision, would you have gone along with it? Perhaps. Perhaps not. Think about that. If you had known that you was making a wrong decision, would you have gone along with it? Like, for instance, let's switch this. Suppose today I was a person who didn't have any insurance or didn't have a valid driver's license, and this happened. And then I was like, oh my gosh, let me just fix. She don't have time to get my tag number. Let me just do a wheelie and go this way. She can't get my tag number. She can't describe my car. Oh, is there any cameras out here, right? I kind of knew that would be a wrong decision. But yet there are people who still go along with it. So... But I also want to tell you on the flip side of it, sometimes we need to take risks when we have a decision to make. And in our choices, like for instance, and I'm not, and please understand, I'm not telling anybody to leave their job. So maybe you have this entrepreneur spirit in you and you have this vision for this business, or you have this idea, or you have this book that needs to be written, right? And you're sitting there thinking, because I get this all the time from people. Like I had someone today inbox me about, hey, I want to do an anthology. Can you blah, 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 blah. Can I just say this? I got to say this. And I'm going to take out my glasses because I want you to see my eyes. I am not trying to offend anybody. I really not. But I'm going to tell you this. I am so sick and tired of people inboxing me. They want help. Okay? But you can't even write, you can't even give me why would you inbox somebody and says, I want to write an anthology, what should I do? What the heck does that mean to me? Okay? Or I want to do this, what should I do? You ain't told me nothing. I get so sick. That is such a waste of time. It irritates me. Can y'all tell it irritates me? It irritates me to no end. That people want to send you, they want to take up your time to ask you a question. And it ain't about me having an issue with answering your question, but it is about me getting irritated because you asked me a question with no information. It irritates me to no end. Stop doing that. You're more intelligent than that. You're smarter than that. Right? And if you're not giving detail because you worried about somebody stealing your idea, then don't ask them a question. Period. I'm just going to tell you. Because I don't need your idea. Because I promise you, baby, I'm in prayer. God, what's next? That's where my ideas is coming from. So if you're going to ask me a question on something to help you, don't send me no one-liner without any information like I'm supposed to guess what's in your brain. That's a waste of my time. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off on that. But I get these inboxes like every day. Every day. Let me put my glasses back on so I can see. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Anita, how are you? But I get these inboxes from people every day. Listen, if you're going to ask somebody to help you, can you give them specifics and stop wasting their times with these back and forth conversations where they got to ask you for all of this? You asking them for help. They shouldn't have to beg you for what it is you need. I'm just saying, it irritates me. I get tired of it. And to be honest, it makes me not want to help you. Because I know you're smarter than that. Anyway, choices and decisions. Okay, I'm off of that. But learn to take risks. If there's a book in you that you want to write, that's where I was going with this, and you want to write, and because I get this too, well, I'm not a writer. So what should I do? Start writing. But I just told you I'm not a writer. But baby, I can't write your book for you because I don't know what you need to write. So you're going to have to start writing. But come on, y'all. We are smart people. Be more resourceful for that. Do you understand that thank you, Anita. Do you understand that on our smart devices, these smart mobile devices that we have, there's a thing called camera. On a camera, there's a thing called video. Now, when you video something, doesn't it pick up your audio? So you don't have to be on the phone looking at it. I lay my phone down a lot of times and I'm cooking or I'm doing something and I'm talking in my phone with it's looking at the ceiling because I'm recording what I need to say so I don't forget. It's a tool. Just like money is a tool. Use the tools. You have a lot of tools in your hands that you're not using. So if you need to write a book, take the risk and start writing. If you feel like you're not a great writer, do that. And then have someone translate it for you. Right? But just start. Take the risk. Because if you never make that choice to take that risk or that decision to do something, you're going to be in the same place you was. And you're going to be like 3 years down the road, like, why am I still here? 10 years down the road, why am I still here? I had someone tell me the other day that they was dating someone. And when they met this person told them about how they had an aspiration to do this. They had these aspirations. 5 years later, they have done nothing to move towards it. So they ended the relationship. Take the risk. Stop letting fear stop you. You have a choice between the opportunities that's before you, whether you accept them or not. And if you choose not to accept the opportunities and the doors that's open before you, that's on you. That's not on anybody else. It's not about being careless or stupid. You know, sometimes you just got to take the risk, right? You can't find confidence and you can't build your confidence in yourself if you don't decide to make a decision about stuff. I make decisions all the time and it don't work out. But y'all don't see me saying, woe is me. I just be like, okay, my first thing is, what did I learn from that? What did I learn from that? Right? And I've learned a lot of life lessons. Y'all don't even know. I was sharing the same person that I just told you about them, the dating thing. We was having a conversation. I was sharing with that person some personal stuff about me and dating and stuff, you know, from years back and whatever. And they was like, whoa, no one know. I was like, I know, you know, but I don't let it keep me down. I don't let it stop me. I just look at it and go, what did I learn from that? And what do I need to do differently? Because life is about living and it's about growing and it's about building your confidence. You know, it's about experimenting, you know, with the right things, not drugs and stuff like that. But it's about experiment. It's an experience. Life is an experience, right? So you can't find the confidence to decide when you know so little about what you're faced with, right? So that's a lot of people. Well, I don't know anything about writing. Well, there is a lot of books in the library and online that you can go and read about writing. When I wanted to write a book over 5 years ago, I actually downloaded about 4 books into Kindle and I checked out some books. And see, and back then, self-publishing wasn't as big as it is right now. Yep, 5 years ago, it wasn't that popular. It was still telling me about writing a query letter to the publisher company and this and that. And I read all of that stuff, only to discover a year later that that wasn't the new trend. But I know all of that stuff because I read about it. Sometimes you just need to go educate yourself. And we have libraries. And there's so much stuff on the internet that you can download. Be resourceful. Think outside of the box. The tools is right there. Go use them. And a lot of them are free, right? So look at what the situation is. You know, look at your W's, like your what, your who, your when, your where, and your why, so that you can choose Make the choice and make a decision, right? And where is this situation going to lead you when you make that decision? And then you need to identify and create options. Identify and create options. What options do you have in this situation? Sometimes the options are few, sometimes it's numerous. But you have to decide. You get to create that. Is this the right time for this right now? Is this the right time for me to stop what I'm doing and concentrate on writing a book? I can tell you last year I started writing on the book. I got through 5 chapters of the 10-chapter book. And then things came up and I put it back. Yes, I'm going to revisit it here in a couple of months and pick it back up. I'm going to have to read all 5 chapters that I already wrote so I can get caught up to where I am and finish it. Right? So time is important also. Make your creative mind work for you when you're making choices and decisions. You got to weigh the pros and cons of your choices and decisions too. Like I was saying before, it can't just be about what feels good right now. You got to be thinking about the future. And then I want to tell you, please trust yourself. Trust yourself. If you don't learn how to trust yourself, how are you going to trust anybody else? First of all. And if you don't learn how to trust yourself, how are you going to live life and experience anything? Now, don't put yourself in a dangerous situation. Like, I'm not going to be somewhere in a bad neighborhood until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. That's not a good decision. Right? And I'm so, like, even with traveling, and trying to decide where I want to go and where I want to visit, like right now, I know I don't want to go to Turk. There's too many issues going over there with Americans right now. It's not a place I want to go overseas right now. But I do want to go on a trip. So I need to trust myself to do the research and figure out where it's going to be safe for me to go. See, a lot of people, yeah, it's great to travel overseas, but it may not be the time. We have 50 United States of America. You can travel anywhere in those 50 states. I promise you, you haven't seen all the beauty that we have right here in the United States. Right? Now that you've assessed your options, it's time to trust yourself. Remember that there's no guarantees and that wrong decisions are always in hindsight. So choose and decide and believe that you're choosing the best option at that time, right? As long as you don't get emotionally caught up with it and feelings like what feel good, right? Now be ready to face whatever consequences that comes up based off of your choices and decisions, good or bad. And don't be blaming it on somebody else. You made the choice. You made the decision. Accept the responsibility that goes with it. Because it could take you to the place of the promised land, or it could take you to problems, right? But you're making a decision. But the most important thing about choices and decisions is that you're choosing to live your life. You're not choosing to stand by and be a stand-byer. You're choosing actually to live. You're not looking at a picture and living your life through someone else. You're choosing to live. I choose to live. I choose to live. So, last week, I just wasn't, my brain just wasn't tuned in to working as focused and as determined as I was. So Friday, I went to lunch. After lunch, I went to the movie theater, y'all. In the middle of the day. I went to the movie like at 2 o'clock in the day. Because it wasn't there. But I had a choice. I could keep sitting here trying to plug through work that I was not being productive in, which means I wasn't doing a great job in it. Or I can say, you know what? You really need a break. So I took the break. But I was refreshed. And this morning I just came in like a little fireball. Boom, 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 boom. Knocking stuff out. Choices and decisions. Choices and decision. Whether it's the right decision or not, only time is going to tell you. But don't regret what you've done. Always figure out what the lesson is and what you can learn from it, right? Especially if you're doing something good. Learn from it. And remember that you always have the chance to make a better decision in the future. You always have the chance to make a better decision in the future. Don't let making a choice or decision hold you back. Don't walk in fear. Live and experience life. Take a risk. My word is jump. Jump. Okay? Take a risk. And trust yourself. Believe in yourself. Build your own confidence. And be willing to take full responsibilities for your choices and your decisions. Don't look at somebody else. Don't say, well, you told me. No, baby, because you still had to say yes or no, regardless of what they told you. Hey, Erica, how are you? Right? See, I have this saying, and I keep it here, and I have it at home, that I stand in a place of trust and certainty that God will bring my dreams to me just as I'm dreaming it. And because I believe that with everything in me, I believe that He gives me wisdom. And I actually pray for wisdom for myself every day. If you ever ask me, how can I pray for you? Wisdom always going to come out. Pray God's wisdom. Pray God's wisdom. So I love you guys. I appreciate you joining me. Thank you. This has been Choices and Decisions. Take a risk. Trust you. Right? And so I will be here the same time tomorrow. I don't know what our topic is tomorrow, but I'll let you know. Anyway, I love you. Thank you for joining. This is Rhonda A. White. Make sure that you are connecting here on this page, because this is where I'll be doing my Facebook Lives at from now on, and not on my personal page. So make sure you like my page. Make sure you go in and you also turn on the notifications for it, and invite people and share it. Have a great Monday. See you tomorrow. Bye.